This is the story of a girl named Sarah. She had just finished college and moved to a new city for an internship. She wanted to rent a room in an apartment close to her office. When Sarah arrived, she really liked the building. The area was clean, full of trees, and the people seemed very kind. On her first visit, many neighbors smiled and greeted her with a namaste. It felt like a wonderful place to live. But there were many others looking at the room too. Sarah thought she might not get it and was about to leave. Just then, the caretaker, Jerry, stopped her and said, "Don't worry, we have free rooms. You'll definitely get one." Sarah felt better after hearing that. When she went to see one of the rooms, she noticed a strange patch on the wall, like something had been painted over. She didn't think much about it and finished the paperwork with Jerry, planning to move in the next day. The first day of Sarah's job also came. At work, she met a girl named Lisa with curly hair, and they quickly became friends. After work, Sarah moved into her new place. On the way, she saw a strange man with only one eye staring at her nonstop. It made her uncomfortable, but she ignored it. At the apartment, she met Brian, her neighbor, who kindly helped her carry her things. The people in the building held a small welcome party for Sarah. Everyone was laughing and having fun, but in one corner sat the one-eyed man, Lester. He was quietly reading a book, yet Sarah kept feeling like he was watching her with strange looks. During dinner, Lester walked up to her and handed her a book. "Read this. It will help you," he said. Sarah was surprised but didn't think much about it. That night, when she went to bed, she started hearing heavy thudding sounds. Somehow, she got through the night. The next evening, to protect herself, she wore earplugs. But as soon as she turned off the light, the same noises came back. Then, a shadow moved past her door. Scared, Sarah peeked through the crack and saw an old woman from the building walking in the hallway. When Sarah asked her about it, the woman explained that she had a health problem. If she missed her medicine, she became restless at night. Sarah helped her prepare some medicine, and while talking, she noticed the same book Lester had given her. She asked, "Who is that man?" The old woman replied, "He's been different since his wife died, but he isn't a bad person. You just have to handle him carefully." Sarah then asked, "Do you hear strange noises at night?" The woman shook her head and said, "No, dear. I'm half deaf, I don't hear anything." But the noises didn't stop. In fact, they grew even scarier every night. One morning, Sarah found a note at her door. It said, "Keeping pets is not allowed in this building." Below that, written in red, were the words, "Someone here is allergic to pets." Sarah did have a cat. That evening, she invited her friend Lisa over. They talked for hours, and Sarah shared everything, about Lester, the nightly noises, the book, and the strange notes. Lisa comforted her by opening up about her own struggles, trying to calm Sarah down. "Look, Sarah, I'm 38 now. No marriage, no family support, just one dream, to make it big on the screen. People laugh at me, mock me, but I keep going. Life is never easy. Its ups and downs are what make it real. The stress of rent, the teasing from neighbors, these will pass. Just keep your mindset strong. Any hardship is like a swamp, you'll only see the light when you cross it." Hearing Lisa's words, Sarah felt a little better. But that very night, something terrifying happened. At midnight, a strong, horrible smell woke Sarah. Fearfully, she stepped into the hallway and saw the microwave running. On top of it was the same strange note from the morning. Summoning her courage, Sarah opened the microwave, and inside was her beloved cat. Suddenly, a man in black appeared. He grabbed her by the throat and tied her to a chair. When the lights came on, she saw it was Brian, the same neighbor who had helped her before. He held a syringe, but Sarah fought back. She pushed him and ran out the door, screaming for help. A neighbor stopped her and asked Brian what was happening, but Sarah didn't realize the whole neighborhood was part of the same gang. Brian used a stun gun on her, knocking her out, and dragged her back inside. Once inside, he injected her with a sedative. In the morning, Sarah woke up in a locked room. Jerry came in and said, "You're not free anymore. I've sent your resignation from your phone and told everyone you've left the city." Then he made her stand facing the wall, right where something had been painted over. Sarah protested, but Brian moved toward her with pliers. Just then, Jerry stopped him. "Wait, let me show her something first," he said. Lester appeared, the same man who had been staring at Sarah before. His ears and eyes were now damaged. He said, "I was like you. I resisted, and this is what happened." Now, Sarah had no choice but to obey. Jerry explained the rules. When the red light on the wall turns on, put both hands on the marked spots. You can take them off only when the light goes off. There are cameras in the room, don't try anything clever. Sarah was forced to do this over and over, day and night. Sometimes, the elderly woman came to talk to her. "This is necessary," she said. "So you can forget your old life and start a new one. Everyone here has gone through this." At first, Sarah thought it was complete madness. But she had no choice. One day, her courage broke. She removed her hands from the wall and collapsed from exhaustion. Jerry entered with a gun and said, "Put your hands back, or there will be consequences." Then he told Brian, "Bring the hammer and nails." Sarah realized that the marks on the wall were already witnesses to someone else's pain. She understood she would have to endure the same. They wanted to break her mentally, telling her it was all for her own good. She was being reshaped with a new mindset. One night, when she could take no more, she pulled her hands from the nails. Blood poured, and she fell to the floor. Jerry came in, hugged her, and tended to her wounds. Then Sarah noticed everyone had the same scars on their hands. They had all suffered the same. She was given new clothes. Brian and Jerry began teaching her their ways. Her next lesson came in a book titled The Power of Community, the same book Lester had once given her. Jerry told her she would have to reveal all her deepest secrets to become free from selfishness. As she read, Sarah started to understand the rules of this mysterious society. Everyone had to let go of weaknesses and selfish desires. If someone made a mistake, they had to admit it in front of everyone and accept the punishment. But forgiveness was possible if they humbled themselves. At one point, Sarah even thought about killing someone and running away. But Lester quietly gestured, "Not now. Wait for the right moment." Slowly, Sarah began to build trust with the members. One day, because of that trust, she was shown the command center, the monitoring room with cameras watching every corner of the society. Sarah asked, "Who watches this room?" Brian just smiled and said, "Not your concern." Then Sarah saw the elderly woman had fallen ill again, and this time it looked serious. All the members gathered. She was now being granted freedom, meaning death, because she was no longer useful. Fear returned to Sarah. She realized this society wasn't just about ideals, it was cruel and ruthless. A few days later, Sarah was made a permanent member, and a life partner was chosen for her. Arrangements were made for marriage and children. Sarah had no choice, she quietly went into the room with him. Then Jerry returned with a new problem. "Your father has come to see you," he said, "but the rules are clear." Sarah had to break ties with her father. She had to send him away, because if he discovered the society's secrets, he would be killed. Sarah's reason for leaving home had been her father's betrayal. He had gotten involved with other women while her mother was still sick. But now he had changed. He came to apologize sincerely. Sarah's eyes filled with tears, and she hugged him. But just then, Brian appeared from behind with a knife. Sarah realized that if she didn't push her father away, his life would be in danger. She hardened herself, pushed him back, and used harsh, fake words to drive him off. Her father was hurt but safe. After that, Sarah began living with Lester. But the society was already looking for its next victim, Lisa, Sarah's friend. Lisa had moved into the same house, and everything Sarah went through was about to happen to her. But Lisa was stubborn and clever. She decided to play the game in reverse. "I'll pretend to obey," she thought. "But the moment I get a chance, I'll end it all." Lisa's condition was getting worse. Sarah tried to warn her with gestures, but the mad society didn't care. Brian brutally beat Lisa and tied her to a chair. Jerry came in and said to Sarah, "Now you change her? Tear her eardrums out. Only then will she be one of us." Sarah trembled, but when she picked up a nail, something inside her snapped. She turned and drove it straight into Jerry's neck. Chaos erupted. Sarah and Lisa ran for the exit. But just as they were about to escape, Jerry shot Lisa from behind. She fell to the ground. In a fit of rage, Sarah shoved Jerry, making him lose balance, then grabbed his gun. She aimed and walked toward the exit. The society members in front froze, they were terrified now that Sarah had a weapon. Brian appeared, trying to manipulate her again. "You can't escape. This is for your own good," he said. But Sarah didn't listen. She shot him and kept running. As she neared the main door, society members surrounded her. She was trapped. Then Lester appeared. He grabbed the gun from Sarah, aimed it at the others, and cleared a path for her. He made her run and stood between her and the crowd. In the end, he shot himself so Sarah could escape. Sarah ran and ran until she thought she was safe. But then she saw a new signboard and a CCTV camera blinking toward her. She remembered the question she had asked Brian, and now she had the answer. Someone else had been watching everything. Suddenly, alarms blared across the area. Sarah realized this wasn't just about one building, the entire city, the whole system, was controlled by them. But she didn't stop. She kept running. The cameras followed her every move. She wasn't afraid anymore. She knew freedom wouldn't be easy, but she had to fight for it. The story ends here.